Hey, blessed, beautiful morning, Grateful Gal family. Y'all know what time it is. Welcome into the Grateful Gal Sports Huddle. About to get directly to the daily verse before I get into the Sports Huddle rundown for this morning. Daily verse of the day of December 16, 2023, derives from the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 22, and it states as follows. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in those who tell the truth. Amen. And again, from the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 22. And this morning, ladies and gentlemen, for the Sports Huddle Rundown, I'll be going over an NFL Week 15 preview, Thursday Night Football recap, National Hockey League, NCAA Men's and Women's Top 25, and the NBA regular season. So this morning, I'm going to get directly to the NFL. Next week, I will be having more information about bowl games. Bowl games for the college football season did kick off today, but those are lower level teams. There are no ranked bowl teams yet. The ranked bowl games will be on, the first ranked bowl game will be on December 27th. So I have that information come to y'all in a couple weeks. But again, Thursday night football definitely didn't disappoint. It disappointed for some teams, for some fans. It was the Las Vegas Raiders versus the LA Chargers. And, I mentioned that I thought the Raiders would definitely put up a better offensive performance, but I didn't think they were going to dominate the Chargers like they did. The Las Vegas Raiders ended up dominating the Los Angeles Chargers 63-21. From the beginning to the end, the Raiders were just on a tear. They were just on a tear. They scored. Let me go back. Excuse me. They scored 42 points in the first half. They went to the halftime 42-0. Then they end up scoring 21 points after that. But, just an absolutely dominating performance. From the beginning to the end. So, they definitely, they took their last game against the Vikings, having that loss by 3 points and not scoring any points themselves. They took that to heart, and they really came out and put on a show in Las Vegas last Thursday. So, shout out to the Raiders for the absolutely dominating performance. I actually ended up turning the game off when it was 35-0. I already knew. I was like, well, this game is over with, most likely. And it just kept scoring and kept scoring and kept scoring. And another note on that as well, the LA Chargers head coach was fired. Coach Staley and the general manager, Telesco, they were both fired after that horrendous loss against the Las Vegas Raiders. And also, Coach Staley had a horrible loss last year in the first round of the playoffs where they was up 35-0, and they end up losing to the Jaguars in that same game. And I was surprised then he didn't get fired, but the Chargers gave him another opportunity to try to make up for that, and the Chargers season hasn't went as planned, and they got dominated. Yeah, they got dominated. So moving on to today's game, we have some games in Saturday kicking off today at 1 p.m. We have the Bengals versus the Vikings on the NFL Network at 1 p.m. All three of these games for Saturday will be on the NFL Network. Then we have the Colts hosting the Steelers at 4:30 p.m. on the NFL Network. And then we have the primetime Saturday night game tonight. It's the Detroit Lions versus the Denver Broncos. That'll be a pretty good game. The Lions coming off a loss. The Broncos are finding their winning formula, finding their winning rhythm. So that'll be a pretty good game, man. The Lions looking to, get back on a winning streak, and the Broncos looking to continue to win. So that'll be a pretty good game. I think all these games will be pretty good, but I think that'll be the best game probably. Playoff implications on the line. The Broncos are one game behind the Chiefs for first place in their division. So I think they're definitely going to, be looking to, really capitalize on tonight's game and make a statement to, push themselves in the playoff picture. So then moving on to Sunday games, we have the Jets versus the Dolphins, the Titans versus the Texans. It's believed that C.J. Stroud still won't be available because he's still in concussion protocol. Then we have the Buccaneers going up against the Packers. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is for Sunday, December 17th. Then we have the Saints versus the Giants, the Panthers versus the Falcons. The Falcons are looking to win that game again to be able to have some competition for their division once again against because the Buccaneers took first place last weekend when the Buccaneers defeated the Falcons. So the Falcons are looking to win to get to get another position back in the division. So then we had the Browns hosting the Bears, the Chiefs going up against the Patriots, the Cardinals versus the 49ers, the Rams versus the Commanders, the Bills versus the Cowboys. I need the Bills to come through. Then we have the Jaguars versus the Ravens. That'll be a pretty good game. That's for Sunday Night Football tomorrow. And then for Monday Night Football, we have my Eagles heading to Seattle to face the Seattle Seahawks. So that's our NFL slate for this weekend. Make sure y'all tune in to the Thursday Sports Huddle to get updated information for Saturday games, Sunday games, and Monday night games. Moving on to National Hockey League for this week from Thursday all the way to this weekend. National Hockey League from Thursday, we had the Blue Jackets defeat the Maple Leafs in overtime 6-5. We had the Flyers defeat the Capitals 4-3. We had the Hurricanes defeat the Red Wings 2-1. We had the Blues defeat the Senators 4-2. We had the Wild defeat the Flames 3-2. We had the Lightning defeat the Oilers 7-4. We had the Canucks defeat the Panthers 4-0. And we had the Kraken defeat the Blackhawks 7-1. For Friday games last night, December 15th, we had the Rangers defeat the Ducks 5-1. We had the Predators defeat the Hurricanes in overtime 6-5. We had the Bruins defeat the Islanders in shootouts 5-4. We had the Stars defeat the Senators 5-4. We had the Coyotes defeat the Sharks 1-0. And we had the Sabres defeat the Golden Knights 5-2. For today's games, we have games starting at 2 p.m. today. We have the Wild versus the Canucks. That game could be seen on National Hockey League Network. Then we have the Bruins versus the Rangers. Maple Leafs hosting the Penguins. Islanders going up against the Canadiens. Flyers versus the Red Wings. The Blue Jackets hosting the Devils. The Jets going up against the Avalanche. The Stars going up against the Blues. The Predators hosting the Capitals. The Coyotes versus the Sabres. The Lightning versus the Flames. The Panthers versus the Oilers. And the Kraken are hosting the Kings. For Sunday games, December 17th, we have the Blackhawks versus the Canucks, Hurricanes hosting the Capitals, Devils versus the Ducks, Sharks going up against the Avalanche, and we have the Golden Knights versus the Senators. Make sure y'all tune in this week to get updated information from this weekend National Hockey League results. Moving on to the NCAA Women's Top 25. We have some games kicking off today, but I'm going to go back to Thursday. Recap of Thursday games, we had number 10 Baylor dominate Delaware State 99-37. For Friday games, we had number 12 Ohio State defeat Grand Valley State 73-49. We had number 25 North Carolina dominate Western Carolina 96-36, and we had number 9 Stanford defeat Portland 81-51. For today's games, December 16th, kicking off at noon today on Fox, we have a top 25 ranked matchup. We have number 17 UConn hosting number 18 Louisville at noon today on Fox. We have number 1 South Carolina hosting Presbyterian at 1 p.m. on the SEC Network Plus. We have number 23 UNLV going up against Seton Hall. We have another top 25 ranked matchup. Number 10 Baylor will be hosting number 24 Miami. That'll be a pretty good game. That game kicks off at 5 p.m. today on the Big 12 Network or ESPN Plus. Number 24 Miami and number 10 Baylor are both undefeated. So one of those teams will be leaving with a loss today. So that'll be a pretty good game. I know both of those teams are going to be playing hard, coached well, obviously, and going to look to continue their undefeated streak. Then we have number 12 Kansas State hosting North Florida. We have number 3 NC State Lady Wolfpacks going up against South Florida tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Number 4 Iowa hosting Cleveland State, and we have number 11 Utah going up against Southern Utah. Moving on to Sunday games tomorrow for December 17th, we have number 14 Notre Dame hosting Purdue. Number 22 Florida State going up against Drexel. Number 7 LSU hosting Northwestern State. Number 19 Marquette going up against Appalachian State. Number 20 Creighton versus Drake. Number 21 Gonzaga hosting South Dakota State. And number 16 Virginia Tech going up against Rutgers. Moving on to the NCAA men's top 25 results from Thursday. We had number 23 Wisconsin defeat Jayville State 75-60. And we had number 7 Marquette defeat St. Thomas, Minnesota 84-79. Recap of a top 10 matchup last night from December 15th. We had number 5 UConn going up against number 10 Gonzaga. Number 5 UConn ended up defeating Gonzaga 76-63. Moving on to today's games, we have some games kicking off at noon. We have number 19 Texas hosting LSU today at noon on ESPN2. We also have number 24 Miami hosting La Salle at noon today, also on the CW network. Also, we have number 2 Kansas going up against Indiana, kicking off at 12:30 p.m. on CBS. Number 6 Baylor going up against Michigan State at 2 p.m. on Fox. Number 20 James Madison versus Hampton. Number 4 Houston hosting Texas A&M at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN2. We have number 13 Clemson going up against Memphis at 3 p.m. on ESPN+. Number 15 FAU going up against Saint Bonaventure at 4 p.m. on ESPNU. We have a top 5 ranked matchup. Number 1 Arizona versus number 3 Purdue today at 4:30 p.m. on Peacock. We have another top 15 ranked matchup. Number 9 North Carolina versus number 14 Kentucky this afternoon or this evening at 5:30 p.m. on CBS. We have number 25 Northwestern going up against DePaul on FS1 at 5:30. We have number 22 Virginia hosting Northeastern on the ACC network at 6 p.m. Number 8 Creighton hosting Alabama at 8 p.m. on Fox. Number 11 Oklahoma versus Green Bay on ESPN Plus tonight at 9 p.m. Number 18 BYU going up against Georgia State at 9 p.m. on the Big 12 network. And we have number 12 Tennessee hosting NC State tonight on ESPN2 at 10 p.m. Moving on to Sunday games, December 17th, we have number 16 Illinois hosting Colgate, and we have number 17 Colorado State hosting Colorado State Pueblo at 6 p.m. So make sure y'all tune in to the Thursday Sports Huddle to get updated information from NCAA men's and women's top 25 for this week. Moving on to the NBA season, NBA regular season. From Thursday games, we had the Celtics defeat the Cavaliers 116-107. We had the Bulls defeat the Heat 124-116. We had the Timberwolves defeat the Mavericks 119-101. We had the Nuggets defeat the Nets 124-101. We had the Jazz defeat the Trailblazers 122-114. We had the Kings defeat the Thunder 128-123. And we had the Clippers defeat the Warriors 121-113. Moving on, recap of Friday games last night. We had the Hawks defeat the Raptors 125-104. We had the Pelicans defeat the Hornets 112-107. We had the 76ers defeat the Pistons 124-92. The Wizards defeated the Pacers 137-123. The Celtics defeated the Magic 128-111. The Spurs defeated the Lakers 129-115. The Spurs actually ended a 19-game losing streak, so they end up defeating the Lakers to snap that streak. Then we had the Rockets defeat the Grizzlies 103-96. Also, Ja Morant will be making his debut on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, which is going to be Tuesday is December 19th. So December 19th, Ja Morant will be making his in-season debut for the 2023-2024 NBA season. Then we had the Knicks defeat the Suns last night, 139-122. Jalen Brunson had a historic night last night. He scored a career-high 50 points, and he also was perfect from the three-point line last night. He shot 9 3-pointers, and he made all 9 3-pointers. So what a magnificent way to score 50 points, man. You score 9 threes, that's definitely going to help you out. But what a way to put his team on his back. What a way for him to continue to have breakout seasons and continue to solidify himself as a all-star in this league, a superstar almost in this league. So shout out to Jalen Brunson. What a perfect night for him last night. Congratulations. For today's games, we have the Hawks versus the Cavaliers today at 7:30 p.m. on NBA TV. We have the Bucks hosting the Pistons, the Hornets hosting the 76ers, the Bulls going up against the Heat, the Timberwolves hosting the Pacers, the Warriors versus the Nets, the Nuggets versus the Thunder, the Trailblazers hosting the Mavericks, the Kings going up against the Jazz. That game could be caught on NBA TV after the Hawks and Cavaliers game at 10 p.m. And then we have the Knicks going up against the Clippers. For Sunday games tomorrow, we have the Celtics hosting the Magic, the Spurs versus the Pelicans, the Bucks versus the Rockets, the Suns versus the Wizards, and the Warriors going up against the Trailblazers. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my sports huddle for y'all this weekend. I appreciate everybody tuning in, checking me out, supporting me. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all major podcast platforms. Anywhere you get your podcast and just search Grateful Gab Podcast, it should pop up. And on that note, man, y'all be blessed. Have a great today. Let's be obedient. Be obedient to our parents. Be obedient to our coaches be obedient to the people who are more mature than us, even though they might not be the most correct. And it goes both ways. Make sure we're respecting those individuals who are underneath us in age. Make sure we're respecting the people who are above us in age. We just got to be able to respect on all paths from each direction. So the obedience may have no question about being obedient. We have to be able to respect one another, love one another, and continue to go forward. So love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Have a great today. Till next time. Peace.